great football. Final score from Carrow Road, 1-0 to Norwich. This is my instant match reaction. As you can tell, it didn't go. Was starting to think I was a bit of a bad luck omen for the Reds, but obviously not the case. Credit to all those who did go, and for putting up with that. We're the laughing stock of the Premier League at the moment, and it really isn't pretty. When I saw the teams at 2 o'clock, I was fairly okay with it, really. I mean, the goalkeeper and the back four pretty much decided themselves. 4-5-1 was always my favoured formation, and it's very easy for me to say he picked the wrong midfield three in the middle. At the start, I was a little bit surprised by it, and now in hindsight, you can say, well, yeah, why did you do that? But, had we come out of it with a result, then, we'd all be cheering his decisions. But anyway, we played three, and it was Gosling, Billing and Lerma. Really surprised by that, because out of those three, there is not a single player that spreads the ball quickly out wide. We were advocating Sermon being involved. Didn't happen. Lewis Cook wasn't involved, and then we had Harry Wilson and then Ryan Fraser on the other side, with Callum Wilson up front on his own, playing that kind of Josh King at Chelsea role that served us so well. The Bournemouth fans were loud. Credit to you. Started off really good. Eddie had a dream. It sounded really good. And I'm about to go through the match and let you know my thoughts as I watched it, and it was a horror show. If you've got your thoughts, then let us know. Check the description below, and there are details of how to submit your video and or audio that will be on the podcast or YouTube channel. Whatever we receive, we will put out, because I'd be really interested to hear what you've got to say. We need a trip to Dignitas. We need to be put out of our miserable... We are in a miserable state. It's a shocker at the moment. During a game, I've never seen Twickets so active, with people putting their seats for the Brighton game on Tuesday up for sale. Absolutely shocking. Really poor performance. This heart, hunger and desire that the players said that they were going to be putting in their numerous press releases, in the Echo, local media, it didn't happen, did it? It was shocking. First 2 minutes, we had a decent opening when Fraser crossed the ball with his left onto the head of Callum Wilson. But I mean, what was that? His first shot on target for since September, October? Barely tested the keeper. Wilson again. I just don't want to talk about that right now. We'll move on chronologically to what happened, because notes were made. Philip Billing, he put a shot over the bar on about 10 minutes. And then Pukki looked a bit dangerous, but Nathan Ake did what Ake does and shepherded the ball out of play. It was a fairly sort of abject opening to the match, really. Nothing really went on, but Norwich had the bulk of possession, I've got to say. And then they started to turn the screw. Buendia had a header just wide. Was really impressed by the way that when Norwich attacked, they chucked men forward. And whilst offensively, when Bournemouth attack, it seems to be just 2 or 3 players going forward, but Norwich chucked about 5 or 6 men into the mix, and as a result, more chance of getting a header on goal. And it's Buendia just went wide. Really impressive to see. And Norwich, I thought, kind of, for the amount of possession they had, they looked fairly decent. When you need quality in the middle of the pitch, players who can spread the ball left and right, Andrew Sermon is that man, Lewis Cook. But on 22 minutes, there was just an example where Philip Billing, unfathomably, he let the side down somewhat after winning the ball back really well, and he played this lofted, weightless ball up to Callum Wilson, who was intercepted and gifted possession back to Norwich. That was just a little moment there that summed up most of the game, really. And then Norwich turned the screw. 26 minutes. Tetty shot from distance after some good possession. I think Norwich had about 71% of possession at that point after 26 minutes. And you could see that when they were firing the ball into the box, Bournemouth were clearing, but they had men on the outside of the box who were taking shots, and that one fell, to Tete. But considering we weren't putting balls into the Norwich box often, and when we did, when they cleared, it was a shirt in yellow that picked it up, because we don't overcommit like we used to. We are so conservative with our play. That kind of reckless attacking edge, I've said it so many times, it's just gone. For a three-man midfield, we were not running the game at all. It was a shocker. Now, in the press, even 24 hours ago, Frano said that we need to collectively hold our hands up. And fucking Steve Cook took that advice quite literally. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like it. Superb pass from Cantwell to put Pukki in one-on-one. I thought he was going to dink him, but Ramsdale did well to meet him quick enough, and he managed to clear, but only as far as once again a yellow shirt, and it was a lofted shot, and Steve Cook, bloody hell, it was with his good hand, exceptional save onto the post, and rightfully sent off. Why it went to VAR, I don't know why. I know it has to, but for me there was no question. One, it was a penalty. Two, he was red carded. That just put us under pressure, put Eddie under pressure, and the leader of the team, vocally gone. Silly decision. Given that barely a third of the game had been played, and he puts us in a right pickle, and that's me saying it in the nicest possible way. Pukki scored the penalty straight down the middle. Ramsdale could have just stood up and just collected it in his arms, but penalty was well executed by Timu there, and Norwich 1-0 up. Harry Wilson, not happy with being taken off, or almost seemed to shoulder barge Eddie on and have words with him as he was taken off. There were other players that were probably more susceptible, but no, he went with Harry Wilson, our biggest goal threat. Not sure if he's still our top scorer of the season, but when we got set pieces, we need a player like that. Lo and behold, we didn't have one. He was the one that made way, and Frano came on to shore up the defence. Of course it's Frano. Norwich were absolutely running the show, we were just chasing shadows. It was an absolute shocker, given the fact that before the goal, Norwich had 71% possession. What was it going to be like afterwards? You can't blame Eddie for the individual mistakes that happened during the game, but you can for this lack of creativity in the midfield. Gosling, Lerma and Billing, they're all about the short passes. When we need to get the ball out wide quickly, who's there to do it? Lewis Cook, Andrew Sermon. Fucking hell. Second half, Fraser played a more sort of advanced role, so it went to almost a 4-3-2, which gives the chance for Callum to flick the ball onto someone that's actually there, rather than this aimless style that we have, flicking it around corners when there's not even anyone up to support you. But Fraser was that man. But like I say, my phone was pinging up with Twickets notifications. People just not fussed. People are giving up, and we're giving up because the team is giving up. Sum up Callum Wilson's season on 56 minutes. He goes on a run down a cul-de-sac, slow, ponderous, laborious. Norwich win the ball back. Far too many touches. A lot of people are saying that they're done with this kind of waste of a team at the moment, and I'm not surprised. I can't even be bothered with Brighton on Tuesday night. I will go, but when you're looking for heart, there weren't many players that had it. Ramsdale was our saviour today, and he had it in spades. The midfield has got to be changed. Problem is, though, knowing Eddie, we'll go to a 4-4-2, and it'll be Lewis Cook and Sermon in the midfield against Brighton. Two similar players. You've got to mix it up. If you're going to play a three-man midfield, put Sermon in there or Cook, yeah? Not the three you had. Oh, it's easy for me to say in hindsight, but my God, our clearest chance came on 64 minutes. Good bit of play. Gosling sprayed it to the right, and Adam Smith hung up a cross. And then was it? Yeah, Fraser at the far post that got the first touch on it, and then with his left played it back to Callum Wilson, 5 yards, completely missed it. Sums up his woeful season. The body language of the players will look like they didn't give a toss. Just imagine a side that would hold up the ball. Just imagine players that looked as if they gave a fuck. Absolutely wasn't happening. Norwich always looked the more threatening. They had a team sort of dynamism where they could break at will, and had it not been for Ramsdale, it could have been even worse. Good save from Pukki on 68. Duda, another save on 71. Buendia, great individual skill from the Norwich midfielder. Went through our defence like a hot knife, like I can't believe it's not butter. Ramsdale thankfully saved again, and then there was another save after that. Thankfully he cleared. On 74 minutes, you're thinking, right, we got a chance. Red card, it went to VAR. Callum Wilson, no different to the Telemans challenge at Leicester. No different at all. His ankle made the same movement. VAR decided one was red card, decided another wasn't. Let's not blame VAR for these kind of things now, but you're kind of looking at it thinking, where's the consistency? But yeah, it went to a red. The ref went to the pitch side monitor, and even still, after coming away, had his hand to his ear. It was a red, and Godfrey was sent off. Solanke for Lerma at that point. Goal machine Dom Solanke after his Luton exploits. I can't blame the lad, but Lerma, who looked like he was holding his knee for much of the first half. You just wonder how playing on has maybe affected him. Is it going to cause a Chris Mepham style scenario for the Brighton game? You just don't know, and you're just looking at it thinking, oh my god, Frano's going to be back in the mix. We may not have Lerma. It's not looking good, is it? And we had a decent couple of chances. There were a few scrambles in the box. A great cross from the right, fired in by Adam Smith, and Gosling and Wilson got in each other's way, chested towards goal. Oh my god, it was a shocker. Right, I'm looking on Twitter right now, yeah? I've got 67 notifications. I put a tweet out about 10 minutes ago asking for your 5-word match reports. And yeah, people are not happy, and they're still coming in now. It's so difficult to be positive. It's so difficult when it feels like there are players out there giving statements that seems to just be lip service. There was no energy on that pitch at all, and I just feel for the fans that travelled. It's just not good enough. It's absolutely not good enough. And I don't want to look at the league table. I don't want to look at the results. I don't want to watch Match of the Day. I've just lost the love of football somewhat. And if we were going down fighting, then it would be fine. Norwich, despite their predicament, they're still rooted to the bottom. But tonight, their supporters are going to have some hope. Bournemouth fans have got none at the moment. Absolutely none. There's going to be more questions on Eddie Howe. Dread to see what he's going to come up with and the team are going to say. I haven't got a clue what Steve Cook's going to say. There's a lot of thinking that Eddie Howe needs to do. The players, it's all good me saying this, the players need to take responsibility. They haven't done for a long, long time. The basics of football are still not happening. Our identity has been lost. We haven't got a plan B. We're playing the wrong players. Do you remember at the start? I don't want to Harry Wilson, to better his career, surely should be going back to Liverpool now, because we're doing absolutely nothing for him. Consistently playing him in a position that he's not particularly effective. We said this at the start of the season. We've only played him because he's just scored lots of set pieces for us, really. Philip Billing. Huddersfield fans are going to be saying, "I told you so." Lerma just... he gave it a go, but not good enough. Nathan Ake, he did all right. Why would you not want to leave? Why would you not want to leave Bournemouth now? I know Chelsea have said what they've said, but bloody hell, you just think you need to get out of the club if you want to further your career. I don't want him to, but Steve Cook, for all the heart and passion he has, is capable of things like what we saw today. I didn't quite think he would take it into his own hands, literally, like he did. We're bringing on Francis to shore up the defence. Not many players emerge with credit, really. Fraser, I mean, what? If you would like to listen to a podcast about this, there's one coming your way on Monday morning. Myself and Jeff Hayward are going to be dissecting the game, and it may not be a pretty watch. Just a heads up, there won't be a podcast after the Brighton game because we try to put our podcast out every Monday. What we will be doing is putting some YouTube content throughout the week on the Brighton game, and just a general feeling of things around AFC Bournemouth at the moment. And next week, of course, there is a game on the Monday night, so we'll delay the Monday podcast until Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have some kind of enjoyment from a half-decent FA Cup run. Everything is culminating into something that spells championship form. We're going down at the moment, and I've never wanted to be as kind of someone that's overly negative, but we are going down, and I don't see an arrest in this decline whatsoever. It's another shit weekend, and you've got 11 players to thank for that. Fucking hate it. Last week I still had hope. This week, absolutely none. And we're going to have to be very honest and brutal with our opinions, despite the fact we maybe, according to some people, need to wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah, maybe we do. But, I'm not one to turn on... There are a lot of fans turning on each other at this point, which, you can do that, but it doesn't solve anything. It just helps to vent your frustrations, which is fair enough. I think we need to be asking some serious questions, and I hope those questions get through to the people that need to make the right decisions, because tactically today was a shocker. I'm going now. This is Paul in. See you in the next video. Thanks. Fucked off.